Well, what do you know? 3/4 of this thing all but over. Essentially, high school football season really starting to get fun, especially in district play. Tonight, headline billing on Broadway in the 5A. Alamo Heights taking on Harlandale. Our Ken's 5 game of the week. Bringing out the best. Bill, look at this. Bringing out the best. Back in the day, I could throw that over the mountains. Dad slinging the rock. What more could you want, right? Hey, the Alamo Heights dads, you saw them there. They were not particularly thrilled with the mule starts because on this particular evening, it was sloppy. 3 turnovers in their first 3 possessions. But luckily enough for the Mules, Harlandale couldn't do much with it. And then Alamo Heights got to work. This is Bennett Flesher on the handoff, taking it, going the distance. 50-plus, 7-0, blue in gold. Next Heights possession, Connolly McKenna under center, hooking up with Rhett Anderson in stride, doing the damage, 14-0. Mules up at that point, and they take off from there. Final score tonight, Alamo Heights 48-0 over Harlandale. That means in the District 5A, 14, the Mules stay on top. Switching gears, let's go to the 6A, just as juicy, especially in the middle of the pack. District 29, Brennan going to battle against their buddy Stevens. Losers of 2 straight coming into this thing. 2 offenses really putting things together, especially on the Brennan side. Look at my man, 54, pumped to get out there. And understandably so, when you got Ashton DeBose as her quarterback doing things like that, and Everett Carter as a receiver doing things like such. Number 7, making it 7-0. In favor of Brennan. Then DeBose to DeBose crime. Ashton, Aaron, seen it a lot this season. 14-0 in favor of the Bears. And DeBose Carter, one more time. Yup, do that dance. 59-0. Brennan continues to do what they do. District 28, 5-0 Brandeis. Meeting over at Comalander, taking on Roosevelt. That's the halftime show, so let's start things in the third. 12-9, Broncos on top. J.C. Evans, Jaden Perez, threading the needle. That's how you do it, right? 20-9 after a 2-point conversion. It worked there. It's going to work again, except air it out a little bit more. Evans, Perez, plus territory to the 26. Sets up Evans to Jalen Baker this time. Slinging the ball. Everybody gets a touch. 26-9 in favor of the Bronx, but Roosevelt hanging tough, riding rough, doing what they can. Brian Roeder, Jamari Nichols, look at the grab. There's a good chance Nate Ryan's be coming off, dropping off some hardware to that young man. Jamari Nichols right there, but unfortunately enough, Brandeis walks away with a 33-23 victory. Still a little bit early in the District 27 slate. Judson and Clemens battling for ground in said district. First quarter tied at 7. Here comes Cabron Miles finding space, coming right into your living room, taking the hit, setting up the Buffs inside the 5, and it ultimately leads to an easy pitch and catch. Alvarez, Dudley, Nathan Alvarez, Jameer Dudley, 7-0 at that point. 14-7 Buffs later in the frame. Let's see Judson Rockets' own Nathaniel Stanley get to work. Young fella's been doing that a lot this season, putting on the move, getting downfield. Taking it into the early part of the second quarter. Elijah Fabula hooking up with Jonathan Johnson there. 14 a pop. This was a fun game. 17-7 in the fourth, and they just went final, I should say, on the verge of going final. Rockets starting to pull away, now up 27-17. The district leaders in that aforementioned district, Steele on the verge in their own right of closing out San Marcos. Steele, of course, undefeated, maybe top team in the state, can make the case at 6A. Not my case to make, however. There might be a little bit of a bias. Smithson Valley, formerly of the 6A, now in the 5A, getting together with MacArthur. Opening possession, Rangers' Doug Lance going to get a look at it. 7-yard touchdown that point. Rangers jumping out to an early lead. Does SV. They need a win. They need a win to kind of, I guess, remind people who they are, especially on the defensive side of things. That's how you do it, right? You force a punt. You got a guy who can do good things when he gets the ball on said punt, like they do. Braden Befidis going to work and getting the outside. And Bill Taylor walking over, he's like, you know what he's saying? He's saying, man, that kid's going to work. There he is.
Wow.
60 yards. 14-0 at that point. Final score today.
Oh, no.
Smithson Valley doing what they do, taking care of business, winning convincingly over MacArthur.
Have the Brahmas won?
They didn't win tonight.
You know, that's Deborah Knapp's alma mater.
Yeah.
We root for the Brahmas around here.
Yeah. Well, she's in Egypt and
right.
she's seeing the world. So I was going to say,
Right.
that's not overly,
Yeah, don't tell
that
her.
score was not on her priority
Right, exactly,
right now. Just
exactly.